Hello and welcome to episode 93 of Nintendo Unleashed. This is BlazKick's weekly Nintendo podcast where we go through the latest news, rumors, etc. and give our thoughts. I'm here today with Connor. Say hello, Connor.
Hello, Connor.
And we have got a very meaty episode for you folks. We've got everything from, new Pokemon trailer. We're going to talk about the Game Awards nominees. We're going to talk about Mario Run. We're going to talk about even more Switch rumors. There's a lot of Switch rumors. I was anticipating we might speak about the NES Classic, but there's really not much to say. I think we might briefly talk about, it went on sale a few times, but again, it was very scarce. But mainly this week is all about Pokemon and the Switch, as well as, like I said, some other things. And as always, we like to get started by talking about which titles we've been playing sort of throughout the week. So, Connor?
I've been playing New Leaf still. I played Kutar concert stuff yesterday just so I could say that I played it this week. I did a lot better when I wasn't talking or listening to other people talk. Yeah. So I still stand by my thing though. I'd prefer it to be on mobile than 3DS. Played Love Live, and by the time you're listening to this, I will have played Pokemon Sun.
Oh, that's exciting. Now, isn't it? Now, which version are you getting? Are you getting the dual pack? Sun. Okay, cool. And are you doing a physical or digital?
Physical.
And are you going for that midnight, or are you just trying to get it the day of? Like after your classes?
Yeah, I'm just going to go there on my way to school because there's a mall that I basically have to drive by to get to school that has newbie games in it.
Yeah, and they might be out after school, so... What a game there.
I have it pre-ordered anyway. So.
Oh, well, that helps.
Yeah.
I don't, so that's going to be an interesting situation. So, unfortunately, I did not get back into Animal Crossing this week. I was telling myself, because I restarted my town, obviously I'm going to want to keep going, but I wasn't able to follow through just because I've been so busy. What I did play on, I think, Saturday, Hyrule Warriors, which is a game I've not played for what feels like at least a year. Maybe it's been a little less. But, so I purchased that game back when it launched, as well as the, first season pass. I don't have the newer content, which also came to Legends, but I have the entire, first season pass. And I hadn't even played any of that DLC content. I hadn't even beaten the main game, but I still bought that content, figuring someday I'll play it. And I'm getting back into the game. I restarted my progress just because I wanted to go in fresh, if that makes sense. Played the first 3 stages, and I remember why I really like this game. I personally just love going around the map and, taking keeps. I just love all the activities in the game. I do kind of wish I had waited for Legends, but I never would have known that's coming out just because that version is pretty much improved since you can have multiple, or you can switch between different, fighters on the map. But still enjoying that game, and I hope to continue with that as well. Hopefully, eventually making it through all the, Season 1 DLC. But that's been it for me this week. I've been doing a little more Miitomo thanks to the update. I've been trying to rack my Nintendo coins back up just because, if you listen to this podcast, you know that I'm generally very displeased with the rewards offered on that service. But my hope is that at the Switch launch, we have some light discounts on Switch titles. I was speaking, and maybe in a similar way to the Digital Deluxe program, maybe 60 gold coins for 10% off the download of Mario Kart 8, which would be again, an equivalent value to what the Digital Deluxe promotion on Wii U gave you. So I'm kind of holding out for something like that, which is why I'm racking some coins up. If my Nintendo doesn't improve at the Switch launch, I'm probably just going to give up on it. But for now, this is kind of like a big push for me because, Switch is kind of right around the corner, which is very exciting to say. But, so a little bit of Miitomo, mostly Hyrule Warriors. Not a big week.
Hype.
Anyway, so Nintendo downloads, it's a pretty awesome week. Really good week, actually, with some surprises. So on the Wii U eShop, there's a game called Swapfire, which is described as a couch multiplayer puzzle FPS, which certainly sounds interesting. On Wii U Virtual Console, there's one Wii game and one N64 game. The Wii game is Wario Land Shake It, which a lot of people really enjoy this game. I really enjoyed the Wario Land series. I've played, I think, the original 2 and 4. I haven't played 3, but I own it. But I'm a pretty big fan of the series, and I may check this out. What's amazing about this game, from what I've seen, is how much detail went into the animation work of the game.
Yeah.
Because it uses like this hand-drawn style, and there's so many different frames for Wario that they had to create.
It's made by Good Feel.
Yeah, which
they did the Kirby and Yoshi Wool games.
Mm-hmm. So I'll most likely check that out because I've heard very good things about the gameplay and, of course, that visual style. And the Nintendo 64 game is Excitebike 64, which I haven't heard as much about. I honestly don't know the quality of that game. It seems like with Excitebike, people either like the series as a whole or they don't. Of course, there are many games in the series, but it seems like, again, there's some people who are fans of the original NES, and if you like that one, you probably like it on N64. I love the NES version, so I imagine I like this one too. And I think this one also has a course builder, but obviously, with a more 3D.
Yeah, it does. I forget who it might have been Game Explained, but when the Mario Kart 8 DLC was announced to have an Excitebike track, and they kind of picked it apart from the trailer, they tried recreating it in an Excitebike 64.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I remember that. That was cool. So that game. Honestly, I haven't bought a Virtual Console game in a while. I think a lot of people haven't, and the reason for that is we don't know how many of these are going to transfer to the Switch. For me personally, if I don't get a guarantee with the Switch that either my games, the games I currently have are transferred for free, or a guarantee that the games I buy on Switch I'll be able to keep forever, and like play on future Nintendo systems, then I can't see myself spending any more money on the Virtual Console in the future. I don't know if you're the same way, or how are you? What's your stance on that?
If there's a game that I want to play that comes out, like I want to play Mother 3.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
Or like if Pokemon Gen 2 is put on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's stuff like that, I'll buy it, but that's kind of how I've always been.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to buy Mario 3 because, well, actually I did buy the GBA version because has a bunch of e-reader card stuff. But I'm not going to buy like Zelda.
Zelda 2, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy something because, one, I own it on the GameCube collector thing. Mm-hmm. And through the 3DS Ambassador.
Right.
But that game's just so common. It's probably cheaper to buy an NES cartridge at a flea market or something.
Uh-huh.
And then my NES is easier to hook up than, say, the Wii U once.
Right. That's a good point.
Using it. So I don't use the Virtual Console too much unless there's stuff that's like expensive or
like
hard to find.
never been released. Yeah.
Yeah, or like Mother 3 never been released. Right. Or the Pokemon games where the save battery can die. Mm-hmm. Well, most games, but I don't think a lot of games use save batteries. Yeah. Most use passwords.
Right. That's a good point. And like I said, for me, like I'm thinking about a specific scenario. For me, the best case scenario is, hey, all your Wii U or like maybe games you own on Wii U and 3DS, let's say. Hopefully my Nintendo systems are smart enough to tell that I own a game on both. Let's say you get like those for free, and those that you own on one or the other, you get heavily discounted, and all of those games you're guaranteed to keep forever. That I would be I would be on board with that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know about that. I don't want to remain optimistic. Because a lot of my Virtual Console games I don't really play much as is. The only one I really play a lot is Mario Tennis 64. And Mario Kart 64, just because I think those are really fun with friends. But, really the only incentive for me to keep building my collection was, like, again, a guarantee that, hey, these things are going to stay with you forever. We don't currently have that guarantee, but it may come with the Switch. We'll see. Anyway, that was quite the tangent. We have a lot. I should keep moving. 3DS retail download Pokemon Sun and Moon. Of course, this is out on Friday, at least in North America and Japan. Europe doesn't get it until, I think, the Friday after, or...
Yeah, it's a week.
Yep, which stinks for them.
It's currently out as of recording in Japan and Australia.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, I've seen, part 1 of Let's Plays coming up from YouTubers who have gotten it early. So things are revving up. I'm very excited. The reviews have been very excited. They've been, we're going to talk about that, but they've been very positive. I'm not getting it until... Well, my Thanksgiving break next week is... I have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off, so I'm just going to get it Tuesday after school. Just so I can focus on my homework this weekend and then really enjoy it over break, Mm-hmm. But, you're getting it tomorrow, like you said. So it's very exciting.
My next break's December 9th is the last day of class. Because our Thanksgiving is first Monday of October.
Okay.
So December 9th, I think, is the last day of classes. Then I have an exam on the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really have a break now to make it easy.
That stinks. You just got to get it when you can in that case, I guess. But so that's a lot of people looking forward to that. I expect that to probably be the best-selling 3DS game of all time, unless they do Pokemon Eclipse. I don't know. But then again,
sure if that would sell more. Usually, I think like Platinum and Emerald and stuff don't sell as well.
That's like the initial versions will usually sell more.
I guess especially since they combine the sale, like they say Sun and Moon sold.
Right, and there'll be some people who get both. So
yeah, so that's 2 games that you're combining the sales of.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But so yeah, Sun and Moon I think are pretty likely to be the best-selling 3DS games. Pre-orders have been massive. Hype is massive. Shipments are over 10 million reportedly for the first shipment, which is more than X and Y's first shipment. On 3DS eShop, Swap Doodle. This surprised I think everyone. It was just kind of out of nowhere. Looks to be Swap Note evolved. The big difference being, at least what it looks like in the trailer, you cannot take pictures. And those of you who are familiar with Swap Note know that was. I don't want to go into detail, but that's the reason why Swap Note was discontinued. Now you can just do doodles, and there's also DLC, which gives you, like, you can do drawing lessons and maybe, I don't know what the other stuff is, like different colored pens or stamps. I don't really know what all the DLC is.
Pens and paper and stuff.
I can see myself downloading it to try it out, even though I already used Swap Note, but I can't see myself paying for anything. I'm not really an avid artist, but this could be cool for some people. It's kind of a shame the service died. And I guess it's cool that it's back, better late than never. Again, very, very random. I don't think anyone expected this. This is interesting. This is a beginner's Japanese learning application, apparently. And this is very interesting. Touch Battle Tank Tag Combat. This was actually wait, no, this is one of the, okay, so this is a sequel to a game called Touch Battle Tank on 3DS. And I thought I reviewed this at BlazeKick, but I did not. This was one of the first games I did a video review for. I used to be at a site, I forget what it's called. I think it was called Nintendo eShop Gamers. And this was one of the first video reviews I did. I got a copy, and it was not a great game. It tried to emulate the Wii Play Tank thing, but the controls were very clunky. This entry introduces multiplayer. So that's interesting. I may check it out just for old time's sake. And on the 3DS theme shop, 2 Sun and Moon themes. One is a tropical theme, and one is based on the game's legendaries. I'll likely purchase probably the tropical one. Hopefully they have nice music. And that's it for this week. Pick of the week. I mean, Sun and Moon, right? Duh. I think we're both incredibly excited for this game.
Definitely beginner Japanese.
Oh, no doubt.
Someone on year 2 of Japanese, I totally need beginners Japanese.
But yeah, I mean, obviously this game doesn't really need more of a spotlight than it already has, but hey, I think we can agree that it's the thing we're most excited for. It's the only thing I'll try Swap Doodle, but I'm certainly not nearly as excited for it. So that's that. Now let's dive into some of our topics. So Super Mario Run. When was this? Was this announced September or October?
Whenever the Apple event was.
Yeah. The iPhone 7 event, Super Mario Run was announced to be coming as an iOS timed exclusive, and it was said to be launching in December. Now we have the specific date of December 15th. It is a free-to-start title, and you can pay $10 in-game to unlock the full version. Now, do you know if have they said yet whether microtransactions will be a thing aside from this $10 purchase?
I don't think they are.
I don't think they've explicitly stated that. Some have been worried because if you look at the screens, at the top there are 3 different currencies, and mobile games are notorious for having many currencies which you need to spend real money to get more of.
Oh, right.
So I'm kind of afraid that even after the $10 unlock, you still have options to buy more coins or something.
Or it could be like Pokemon Rumble, and I think
like Rumble World, right?
Yeah, where the free-to-play Pokemon games on 3DS, where when you buy enough microtransactions, everything's just maxed out, and you don't have to do anything anymore. So it might just be $10 is what the limit is.
That's true. Possibly, well, it could be something like that. But I don't think the point is to get coins in the levels. Because then there's no reward for playing the levels. I think maybe they could do it like if you purchase the 10 version, you get or the $10 version, you get I don't know, twice as many coins. for each coin you get, it counts as 2 coins or something like that compared to the free version. I don't know. Some sort of thing where the people who purchase the full version feel like less incentivized to spend extra. That just seems like a smart move. At least it's a consumer-friendly move, anyway. So I'm excited for this. I'm based on the trailer. It showed a lot of new elements, like there's long jump blocks. There are rooms which sort of loop like in Pac-Man mazes. There's ghost houses. I'm excited. So perhaps some puzzle-light elements. I will definitely be purchasing this because I love. I mean, it's Mario on my phone. I'm excited for that. Some people have been. There's been some interesting talk over the price. Some people saying it's too expensive for mobile. Now, I'm not sure about that. Minecraft Pocket Edition is the #1 game on at least in the US App Store, #1 top seller for paid apps, and that's a $7 app. I think if folks are willing to pay $7 for Minecraft, they'll pay $10 for Mario. At least I hope so. I'm pretty sure Mario's brand recognition is good enough where he can achieve that,
Yeah, I don't necessarily think 10 is too expensive. It definitely compared to most mobile games, most are free with microtransactions.
Yeah.
10 does seem really high compared to them.
Mm-hmm.
But as stated, there is a free version. We don't know. I don't think we know how far you can get in the free version.
Yeah, we don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember how many levels there are in the game. Is it 24 stages? Yeah, I think it's 24 stages. I would estimate that the first 4
could just be the whole campaign thing is in the free version, but the other 2 modes.
Yeah, none of the multiplayer or castle build. That's possible.
Or
although I personally think it'd be more likely it gives you a small taste of each.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they've mentioned at all.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like it'll be one app, right? Not Mario Run and Mario Run Lite. But you download Mario Run, and in the app, you can choose to pay if you want to upgrade. I think that's the smartest route. I feel like when you're splitting between a light version and a paid version, that sort of can take away from the, people knowing that they can buy the full version, maybe. So having it all in one app will help it get to the top of the free charts, which, people will download anything for free. I mean, people are going to download Mario when they see it for free. Whereas if you had it as and they'll try it and they might like it. Whereas if you had a $10 paid version, people would be less likely to try because that's a big, at least for mobile, a big jumping off point. So I think it's a smart move to have a free starter version. And in sticker news, so Mario Run got some stickers when the game was announced, and now, Pokemon also did on iMessage. And now Twitter has Pokemon stickers, and that's I believe it's just the starters and a Pokeball.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still
lost starters to be specific?
Right. Are they still on there? I would assume because it's a limited time thing.
I don't know if they've ever taken stickers off the Twitter thing. I'll check if they're if they're still up.
Right. It just seems like it would be a limited thing. It would be weird if you check Twitter in 5 years and see, wait, why are the starters for Pokemon Sun and Moon here? But I don't know.
Twitter, why are you being weird right now? Stop freezing. I'm trying to do something.
But yeah, these stickers.
Yeah, they're still there.
Okay, so these stickers can be added to photos. I guess it's interesting. I mean, it's a smart move to promote it. Pokemon Company has been sort of notorious for being kind of stingy with letting people use their IP. So I personally think it's very cool that they're letting Twitter. It kind of seems unprecedented. To me, anyway. I mean, I can't think of a past example like this, but hey, that's cool.
I mean, as you said, the iMessage
that too.
Line.
Mm-hmm. I think Pokemon Go is sort of helping push them in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot more Pokemon. I guess we can briefly discuss the Pokemon Sun and Moon reviews, which came out a couple days ago. They've been very, very positive. Definitely a notch above the X and Y reviews. I've seen a lot of 9s. Have you seen any 9.5s or 10s? Do you recall?
I think some. I'm pretty sure I saw a 10. Well, it was 5 out of 5.
Oh, right. Okay.
I don't remember who it was now.
But currently, Sun has an 88 on Metacritic. If I click critic reviews, let's see who's the top here. Yeah, it's Nintendo Life actually gave it a 10. As did Digital Spy.
I think Digital Spy is the one I saw.
Okay. RPG Site, Italy, or RPG Site, Eurogamer Italy, a ton of 9 out of 10s. And actually, I don't think, there are none below 8 out of 10. At least, well, so there are some that are in progress and unscored, so we don't know yet whether they're going to be below. But of the existing ones which are scored, none below 8 out of 10, which is obviously a very good thing. I'm really looking forward to it. They reflected in the reviews a lot of things I'm looking forward to, which includes the removal of HMs and sort of the removal of grid-based movement.
And the removal of too much water.
Yeah, which is actually fun fact that they sort of referenced that in one of the like Pokefinder things, right?
Yeah.
So that's funny. I think that's clever. So and also I'm also excited for sort of the gameplay structure changing in terms of there aren't really true gyms anymore. You have these trials which are all very different from each other.
There's a different amount on each island.
Oh, different amount of trials?
Yeah.
That's cool. And there are 4 islands, right?
Yep.
Got it. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Which parts of the game are you most looking forward to?
I don't know.
Just everything.
I mean, all I've really seen are the Pokemon themselves, right. And the trial. I don't really know what the trials are aside from the weird tutorial-like one in the demo and the one they kind of showed off in the trailer.
I just hope they're not as handholdy in the game, because I remember in the demo you're taking pictures of what's it called?
Jagamo.
Right, and so every time there are like these cracks in the wall, and okay, I know how to look for cracks in the wall, but every time you walk past one, it gives you like the exclamation point prompt. It's like, dude, I was about to go there. Like, let me do that. I hope that's just part of the demo,
I think the first trial's like that.
Okay, that's fine, I guess. As long as the other ones, you actually have some freedom to figure things out for yourself. I'm just afraid they'll seem kind of.
I've seen a decent amount of posts on like r/Pokemon from people who got it either from Australia or illegally. That about being lost. So I assume it's not super handholdy.
Okay, perfect.
Hopefully, it's not too difficult though.
Right. I mean, none of the reviews have been, at least not that I've seen. None of the reviews have talked about high difficulty. So it's a good thing to get a little bit lost. So I'm actually glad to hear that. Hopefully, it is a bit more challenging than XY, at least in terms of what you have to do next. Now, Pokemon trailer. I guess it's fair to assume this is the final trailer.
Yeah.
I'll let you go over some of this stuff because I looked at these briefly. The Ultra Beasts look really weird. There's one called like Lighting, or is it called Lightning? I couldn't tell.
I think it's Lightning.
Okay.
So basically we got what Korokoro gave, except for some reason they named the 2 Ultra Beasts while Korokoro just said Ultra Beast number ?
Right.
And they also skipped 4 for some reason, because as you can see in the trailer, it's UB03 Lightning and UB05 Gluttony. I actually don't recall, because these are version exclusives, so I don't.
Right.
What I don't get is why 2 is split. Like there's UB02 Beauty and UB02 Power or something.
Yeah. It's all very strange. I imagine it'll be part of the story, right?
I have no idea. I haven't looked at any story stuff. We also finally got Alola, Diglett, and Doug Trio after Doug Trio was in the demo for some reason. Yep. With his hype hair, steel ground type. So I believe the Pokedex on this, not the Pokedex, the website description mentions the reason for the hair is volcanic lava melted or something. Or
that's interesting. Fair enough.
So, okay.
At least they have a reason for it, I guess.
Most of them have some weird reason. Like Raichu wanted to be like pancakes or something, so that's why he looks the way he does. Like most of them have some weird reason.
I'm looking forward to the Pokedex descriptions for this game. I assume those things about them are in their Dex descriptions, hopefully.
Probably. I haven't looked
forms.
at the Dex descriptions at all.
So there's that. There's also a mysterious black Pokemon.
Yeah, they just posted it. It's the same one that was in Korokoro. They posted it on the website as well as on Twitter, saying many more mysteries left to come. And then everyone in the comments felt the need to reply with, the whole game's been leaked, or there's barely anything left to discover.
I mean, I'm sure, hopefully the story I've heard really good things about the story, so I hope it doesn't get spoiled like crazy online before I play it, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. It's just kind of a dick move because you aren't huge in any Pokemon communities.
Right.
So it's kind of a dick move if you got spoiled, because it would be like someone on Twitter or YouTube just posting spoilers.
Right. Well, luckily I have NW Player 123 blocked. I feel like they're the most likely person on my feed to spoil it. So we also saw the Z. Was this our first time seeing the Z moves for the starters?
Yes.
Okay. So they look really cool. I mean, unfortunately, the one for Primarina is my least favorite, even though I'm picking her. But they all look pretty cool.
Primarina's is like a Dragon Ball-esque move.
I heard my friend. I mean, with me not being like an anime watcher, my friend said the exact same thing. I'm like, I mean, that's cool, I guess. So I guess I'm looking forward to that.
Something else I just noticed with Primarinas specifically, whenever the Z moves are like super sadistic, it's always the female character using them in the trailer. Like the Tapu's when like they get that giant body and then slam down. It just is her with that huge grin on her face, just slamming her fist onto her hand. And then with Primarinas, it does a similar thing with her grinning.
And she does like a bow at the end. It's great.
Yeah, she like makes them Primarina drown the Pokemon.
It's funny. I love watching the ball get like slowly lowered.
It's like, why is the female so sadistic in this game?
I personally think Decidueye. I still don't know how to say that name. The bird boy. Decidueye. I think his is my favorite. What about you? You have a favorite?
I don't know. I kind of like the generic ones, but they do more than the specific ones.
Right.
Because like, they also revealed this on the website for some reason, and I just forgot to add it. But if you have a generic Z crystal, like the normal one or the fighting one or something, and it matches a status move, it gives you a stat boost. So like if you use, say, Growl, it boosts your attack as well as lowering their attack.
Oh, like Growl as a Z move?
Yeah, so if you use Z move Growl, it's called Z Growl or something. They just put Z in front of them.
Does every move have a Z form?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I thought it was only like certain special moves.
No, cool. If you use the specific, like the Decidueye, whatever, I keep forgetting what they're called. Whatever the specific crystals are. If you use the specific ones, then it has to be a specific move. But if you're just using the normal one or the fire or fighting or whatever, it can be any move of that type.
Okay. And does the crystal count as the item the Pokemon is holding?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
So
I guess that's fine.
You can only use it once per
battle, right?
So, but some interesting ones are like Splash, which normally does nothing, raises your attack 3 stages.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mirror move, a lot of people are calling broken because it copies the Pokemon's move but turns it into the Z move form.
Oh, wow.
And there's a couple others that are pretty interesting.
And does it and so is the crystal based on the type of the move or the Pokemon?
Move.
Okay.
So
cool.
like Poplio's not fairy type, but it has Charm, which is a fairy move.
Right. So it can use the fairy crystal to do Z.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. I think that that's an interesting development for me. I'm very much looking forward to that. And there's something here about Pokemon TV app, which I don't know.
Yes, if you're in Europe and want to get Magearna, you're gonna have to get the Pokemon TV app, and they'll give a QR code. I don't think a specific date was given. However, North America did get a date, December 5th, and it's not through Pokemon TV. It's just on the website. and that is to align it with the dub premiere of the Volcanion/Magearna movie, as well as episode 1 of Pokemon Sun and Moon, which I think is the quickest turnaround time a Pokemon dub has had. Space Dandy was the quickest dub.
Wait, when is that dub coming? I kind of spaced out. I want to watch that.
December 5th.
Okay, cool.
And it's on Disney XD instead of Cartoon Network.
I can do that.
Which is kind of interesting. I believe the X, Y, and Z dub isn't done yet either on Cartoon Network.
Doesn't Disney XD now have both Pokemon and Yokai Watch then?
Yep.
Wow, nice. So that's fun. And so now we're going to go talk about the Game Awards. That's happening early December.
One other thing. If you're in Europe and don't want to get the TV app, these obviously aren't region restricted, but they aren't one use per code. So I'm sure it will be online.
Yeah, people just publish codes, absolutely.
So if you don't want to waste space on your phone or whatever, then you can just wait for. I'm sure it will be on like Cerebeam, Bulbapedia, and stuff.
Right. So that's exciting. That's kind of it for Pokemon. Now we're going to talk a bit about Game Awards before we go into our last stuff, which is about the Switch. So Game Awards nominees. This event happens early December. It is a late night Game Awards show hosted by Jeff Keighley. And there's a fair number of amounts of Nintendo games up for grabs this year. In the mobile/handheld category, which should be separate, but they're not. Fire Emblem Fates, Pokemon Go, and Monster Hunter Generations. RPG category, Xenoblade X, even though it came out in 2015. Fighting, Pokken Tournament. I can't see that winning, fortunately. Family, Pokemon Go. I can definitely see that winning. I can probably see that winning mobile as well, just because of how much of a sensation it was. Strategy, Fire Emblem Fates. That'll probably win. I guess it's only up. I mean, I'm trying to think the other big strategy game. XCOM 2. Are there any other big strategy games which came out?
I think there was a Dota expansion that was listed there.
If that wins over Fire Emblem, yeesh. And fan creation's an interesting category because it's another Metroid 2 remake and Pokemon Uranium, both of which I believe Nintendo put a cease and desist on.
Mm-hmm.
And anticipated game, of course, Breath of the Wild. No Sun and Moon, though, but I guess that's because it's coming out so close to the awards.
They have other stuff that's close, though.
It's kind of strange, then.
Date thing says as long as it's available to the public before, I think, November 20th, which Pokemon Sun and Moon are available before November 20th.
What the heck?
I don't know where they are.
Didn't see it fit? Whatever. Or maybe they just didn't get access to playing it yet. I don't know. So, I mean, not much to say in that regard. Like we said, it's kind of awkward that there are two projects which Nintendo does not legally approve of, despite Nintendo being a sponsor of the event.
And they've shown things off at these shows. Like they revealed Cranky Kong and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
They showed the first gameplay for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like they really care about this event.
As well as they had Koji Kondo do a Mario thing and show.
Oh, and then Imagine Dragons came on too. That was crazy. I was losing my mind over that.
And I think that's where they announced Mario 3 and Mario World were in Mario Maker. Before that, it was just Mario 1 and
they changed it. I think that's where they announced the name change to Super Mario Maker as well. Or maybe that was at E3. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember that where that was.
But yeah, they've had a big presence
here.
Yeah,
and I don't know if they're gonna necessarily be at the Game Awards again this year because they don't have too much.
Well, the thing is, the Switch event is in January, and I feel like they want to wait for that to show their big guns. You know,
but they might show.
I'm thinking they might show some more Zelda gameplay.
I don't know if they'll go there to show Pikmin.
I don't know. I don't think that's the right audience for that.
Or Mario. No, is the Mario sports game out?
No. 3DS? But I don't know how well that would present being a 3DS game having the 240p display. Yeah. I'm afraid that would. I honestly think just show gameplay from the Switch version of Breath of the Wild, assuming it runs better. I mean, obviously we've already maybe show just a very tiny amount of a new area. You know, we've already seen a ton of Great Plateau. Just a minute-long sneak peek at another area would be amazing, especially if it's running very smoothly on the Switch.
Especially if they have it at an awkward angle on a TV again.
Oh, yeah, please don't do that again. Please just have direct footage. I don't know. I guess they did that just because the game was early in development and maybe rough around the edges. So I don't know whether I should be excited for this event because they've been kind of inconsistent with their support, but hey, I'm looking forward. I imagine some of these games will take them rewards anyway. Last year, Splatoon won Best Shooter, which was awesome, and Best Multiplayer or something like that. So I mean that's about it. I'm looking forward to this. I've watched it. I didn't really watch it when it was called the Spike VGAs, but I've watched it every time it's been the Game Awards, and I'm sure I'll watch it again. I wish it was not so late, because for me it goes till like midnight, but I'm sure I'll watch it anyway. And so last, a bunch of Switch stuff, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I expected rumors to slow down, but if anything, they honestly just sped up. We have rumors from all over the place, from Emily Rogers to Liam Robertson to Laura Kate Dale to Eurogamer. More Eurogamer stuff coming tomorrow, which we'll report on next week in our podcast. Also some retailer stuff. And I guess we'll start off with that. Toys R Us Canada. And I feel like another retailer listed a price as well, like Target or something.
I don't know about the US Game kind of listed one.
Oh, right. Okay. So Toys R Us Canada listed it at $329.99 Canadian dollars, which is approximately $250 USD. I think that's the price point a lot of people are definitely hoping for. And again, this is just speaking from my USD perspective, but a lot of people have been saying that assuming if there are a basic unit and a more advanced unit, people are saying the basic unit should cost no more than $300. Ideally $250, right? Mm-hmm. And so if this is true, I think that could be very good. Because the thing with the Switch, it has a lot of potential to do really well. There are just some areas Nintendo has to nail. So I think everyone's pretty confident about the launch lineup, right? The main things they have to nail are marketing and price, I think. If they can nail those, I think they can have a phenomenal year one. Again, we don't know the price yet. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'll talk more about it at the Switch event when it's actually revealed. But hey, let's hope this is true. Have they since took down that pricing, or is it still up? Do you know?
Yeah, they took it down.
Okay. So now, I guess we'll move into some of the more stuff from the Twitter Insider side of things. So, like I had mentioned, Eurogamer is apparently going to have big Switch news tomorrow. Emily
November
and
18th.
Right. Oh, yes. So it'll be out by the time you're listening to this. Check Eurogamer.com. And we don't know anything. I mean, Emily and Liam have basically said, yes, we agree with this. We don't yet know whether it's going to be on the hardware or software side of things, but it does seem like it could be a substantial piece of news. So keep your eyes peeled, I guess. And then Laura Kate Dale reported about possible Switch. Is it? Okay, some people say SKU. Do you know if it's like, is that a proper way to pronounce it, or because I've always said SKU.
Yeah, I always say SKU.
Yeah. But so this was related to the game, which is a UK game retailer rumor, and that's, I think, specifically in game that the Switch will have 2 SKUs. One being £200 and one $250, which includes more storage in a game. That game, it sounds like it's going to be Splatoon. And also some details about Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart and the Mario game, and pretty much most of the titles we saw in the initial trailer. So, report from both Emily Rogers and Eurogamer, I think, was that Breath of the Wild will be missing the March launch date. This doesn't surprise either of us. As far as I recall, the game was never confirmed to have a March launch. A lot of people were hoping it would be.
I mean, if you count the Nintendo France listing for the Amiibo,
right?
I think it was March 17th or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so aside from that, there hasn't been anything. Perhaps that was tentative, but they decided they had to push it back.
Or maybe they're going to launch the Amiibo in March just to taunt people.
Oh, God. Now, here's my deal with this. I'm fine if they delay it. That's fine by me. My only issue is I'm going to be busting my butt in my senior year of high school. And if I want to fully enjoy this game, they need to release this baby by the end of summer. Or else I'm going to have no time, which will be very disappointing because I'm looking forward to this game immensely. So I'm kind of praying for a May-June release or even early August. Just have they ever released anything in July? It almost feels like they haven't. It feels like it's one side of the spectrum or the other. But this doesn't surprise us, and it sounds like Mario will be there to fill in the gap. Sources have reported Mario to be a launch title, a hub like the 64/Galaxy 64 through Galaxy games, like a true exploring hub, and similar gameplay to Mario 64 as well, with exploration/mission based. And it also sounds like this is not as big of a deal, but it sounds like they're developing a demo which they want to have ready for the press at the January event.
Mm-hmm. Which didn't a rumor at some point say that there was going to be like demo units for the public in February or something?
Yeah, it sounded like, and I think actually Nintendo may have specifically confirmed. I think like during their investors meeting or shortly after it that there was some convention in like I think Europe they confirmed that Switch will be playable there, and it was after the January event.
So this demo will probably be there.
Most likely. Hopefully Breath of the Wild demo as well. That's going to sell people. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have that game. Well, okay, they've got to have that game playable at the January event, right? What do you think about
that? Probably, even if it's just the E3 demo.
Yeah, even if it's the E3 demo running on Switch, that's one of the Switch's flagship titles. I think you've got to have that there playable.
Yeah.
So that's the Mario game. This sort of, I believe, goes back with the Laura rumor, but it's reported that the more expensive model, in addition to more storage, will come with Splatoon, which reportedly has a new 1v1 mode, which doesn't sound terribly exciting. That was the worst part of the original game, where you can switch weapons on the fly. You should be able to do that in the online multiplayer, not just the 1v1 mode. New solo content, which is kind of to be expected, and free updates like the Wii U, which I was glad to hear about again, assuming this is true. I was initially thinking maybe it'll just release with a batch of new content and then no more updates, but I'd actually rather they do it like the Wii U version, where maybe it starts with like 1 or 2 new maps and they roll out like 8 more throughout the year or something like that.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully this free content it's going to launch exactly how the Wii U version launched, and then you're going to get the exact same stages rolled out in the exact same way or something like that. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully it launches, if it's a port, it launches with all the content the Wii U version currently has.
Oh, I don't think they would do that. Nintendo makes some stupid decisions, but I don't think they're that stupid. Like having to physically wait in time and not being able to fast travel in game to unlock stages that were in the previous. I can't see that happening. I would hope that all the existing stages are there at launch in the game, right? Plus 1 or 2 new, and then roll more out. That's what I would hope for personally. But again, we don't even know if this thing is a port. Again, it's rumored. The rumor makes it sound like it's a port, but we don't know for sure. And last but not least, Skyrim. I believe this was also from Laura, but she claims that the game is coming at launch with post-launch mod support, similar to the PS4 mods, in that it does not support external assets, which is a little bit disappointing, but better limited mods than no mods, I guess.
And that's kind of interesting that a Nintendo console is going to support mods.
Yeah, I mean, the closest Nintendo has come to that is user-created content in games like Smash Bros. And Mario Maker, but mods are a whole other story, which, it changes not just, with map builders, you have the same gameplay on different stages, but this can, fundamentally change the gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
and introduce elements which the developers did not intend, which is exciting. And again, I really do hope that's true. If Skyrim is there at launch and it has mod support similar to the PS4, and it has a solid frame rate on the handheld unit, I think I'll be there day one. I've never played the game, and I would love to be able to access it anywhere. I'm going on a long plane trip in the summer, and that's just going to be exquisite.
I wonder if Nintendo would be willing to put mod support and stuff like Breath of the Wild or Mario.
Ooh, I can't see that happening yet. I wish. That would be awesome, but I feel like it's baby steps.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a step, but I feel like we're not going to see that for at least.
I could maybe see Splatoon.
Maybe Split, yeah. And I could see maybe user-created maps in Splatoon. Or at least...
Well, I meant weapons.
Oh, that would be cool, actually. Yeah, I could see something like that in Splatoon, but since that's a new series, open to new ideas. And while Breath of the Wild is changing conventions, I feel like that's a bit further than they'd be willing to go with Zelda, at least right now. Because I feel like they hold that franchise, in a very tight regard, if that makes sense. Like a very... And that's actually it for our Switch rumors. But that is a lot, and do expect a lot more next time. Definitely the Eurogamer thing, plus maybe more. We'll see. Anyway, so our poll this week. I feel like, how have we not asked this poll yet? Maybe we have when the games were announced. But hey, here it is again. And simply put, Pokemon Sun or Moon. Easy. Or neither if you're a party pooper. Or both. Both, I guess, if you're an extra fun guy. And what was last week's poll again?
Oh, rip, I forgot to open that. It was, did you look at the Pokemon leaks? I believe only Pokemon won. Yes. Did you look at Pokemon leaks? 35% of you looked at all of them. 44% looked at only the new Pokemon. 0% only looked at the story, which, kind of makes sense. Why would you look at the story but not the Pokemon? And 21% didn't look at them at all. We also got replies, 3, one from Jay Remastered, who only looked at the stats. Disturbed _11. I hate leaks, all of them. These particular kind I avoid at all costs. And Screamo Pichu meant to say only Pokemon, not story, but no one voted story.
Yeah, so be it.
Maybe he voted for all of them and meant only Pokemon.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm personally impressed by how many people said not at all, because it seems like these things are very hard to avoid, especially the Pokemon, because of fan art and things like that. For me personally, I'm in the just Pokemon boat. I try to avoid story at all costs, but I'm fine with looking at the Pokemon. I'd like to keep it to a minimum, but hey, if they're out there, I'm not going to shield my eyes.
Yeah, I went out of my way to look at the Pokemon just because I got used to because my first game was first launch game was Platinum, right, which obviously had no new Pokemon from Diamond and Pearl. Then Heart Gold, Soul Silver, no new Pokemon.
Yeah.
Then Black and White, but those were out way after
in Japan, right?
Japan. So I basically got used to being able to plan a team beforehand.
Oh, okay.
So when X and Y were coming, I was kind of looking forward to not being able to do that, but then the games leaked like 2 weeks early again or something.
Like Canada or France or something like that.
I think it was Canada and Italy.
Okay.
And I just gave up, and this time I didn't even bother. I didn't look at any story stuff. I know a couple story things, but I didn't go looking specifically, and I probably wouldn't care if I ran into story stuff.
Right.
But I'm not clicking on threads that are Pokemon story spoilers.
Yeah, big story spoilers. This is major.
Yeah, I'm not going out of my way to find them, but I wouldn't care if I saw them.
You are Professor Oak.
You are actually playing Professor Oak. This game is a prequel.
Oh, what if that's actually it? So anyway, like I said, this week's poll, Pokemon Sun or Moon. And I guess we'll also have options for neither or both, right?
Yeah.
That's a fire alarm.
Pretty sure
it's just I think it's just the oven. But I'm just gonna stand by just in case. Yeah, because we're cooking dinner. So I'm just gonna again presume that is.
Well, if people aren't yelling and screaming,
nobody screaming. So I'm good. Anyway, sorry if that's coming through. Probably is just very loud. Pluggies this week. Looks like there's just one.
He's out of the Lost Witch episode 7. Also, check out blazekick.com. We are currently updating. This is going to be a plug anyway. But we are currently updating the site server-wise. So I don't think this will visually affect you quite yet. I just checked, and it loads a lot faster than it used to. So that's pretty hype. Hopefully I will be able to find time as well as think of something to write about this week. I'll probably have a Pokemon review up in a couple weeks, though. So Yay. Also, check us out on Patreon. If you give just $1 a month, you can have early access to Unleashed, PlayStation Point, and Podcast Scorpio. Sorry, 1 day. Did I say 1 week?
Yeah, 1 day.
Yeah, 1 day. As well as the Blaze Kick monthly podcast, which November's hasn't gone up yet. I don't know what's causing that delay, but hopefully that will go up soon. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can see stuff like unboxings, as well as I think PlayStation Point's a video podcast, so you can see it video form there. Subscribe on iTunes and Google Play Music if you want to listen to Unleashed at work or something, and YouTube isn't the best option. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at DoubleThruOn. Noah.
I'm at Dashy007.
And
you can follow the
Blaze Kick tweet.
Good. Podcast is at Nin Unleashed.
Arms, who unfortunately could not be here this week because, let's see.
Reasons. He's running.
Yes, he's running. He's aspiring to be the running man from Ocarina of Time. So he is trying to break his record for the longest running streak. So, yes, that is where he is currently.
Good luck, dude.
And also visit blazekick.com. As I already said, we're currently going through upgrades, which aside from the site loading faster, I don't think will make much difference for public. It will be easier for behind-the-scenes stuff, though. So, hype. And see you next week if you can tear yourselves away from Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Bye-bye.